is 1644, and the Ming Dynasty is on fire. Well, the Ming Dynasty had been on fire for a while up to this point, but like the humans, Poland balls they never got around to solving their internal issues. Corruption, eunuchs, and famine, things that normally afflicted Chinese dynasties, only exacerbated by the Little Ice Age, a period in time when the global temperature dropped by 2 degrees Celsius, making rice yields crash. Another group that was not faring too hot under these conditions was a group known as the Manchus, recently having named themselves the Jin Dynasty. After a different Manchu dynasty from many centuries ago, they had just settled on a new dynasty, Qing for bright, but as we'll soon see, this title did not hold true under pressure. The Qing, with their horsemen, and the Ming, with their stupid, proved not at all an equal match, as the Qing raised a lightning campaign, splitting the Ming into 2 dynasties, the Ming and the Shun, before both were wiped out in 2 major encounters, and Manchu hegemony became solidified. From there, Ming loyalists waged an anemic campaign against the Qing from the island of Taiwan before they were eventually overrun, bringing Taiwan under Chinese control for the first time in all of China's history. Other failed dynasties in the future will remember Taiwan's existence. The Qing were led by 3 glorious emperors, doubling the size of China by overrunning their fellow horsemen, the Mongols, the Tibetan Empire, and the Xinjiang Uyghurs. Already, though, cracks began to show near the end of the reign of the last of these emperors. The Qianlong Emperor continued the Qing policy of isolation from the world, and used the Chinese word for barbarian for Westerners. This came to a head when the McCartney mission came knocking at China's door in 1793. Tasked with opening trade with China, the mission was a monumental failure on the part of both sides' failures to understand the culture and needs of its counterpart. Inevitably, due to Chinese arrogance and British necessity for a good to balance out Chinese tea, silk, and porcelain, war came to China over the innocent poppy flower. Britain began selling massive amounts of opium to China, which the official Lin Seishu promptly dissolved in acid. Also escalating the conflict was the death of 2 Chinamen at the hands of a British sailor, the removal of moderates from both governments, and an attempted blockade of Canton Harbor. When war eventually arrived, the Qing fought hard, but lost every battle. Without Western technology, the Qing were shooting bows and arrows at a massive iron behemoth, which tends to not go well. The Qing signed the first of many unequal treaties, the Treaty of Nanking, granting the Westerners 5 ports, a ton of money, and the island Changgang, known in the local Cantonese dialect as Hong Kong. China will remember this.
Here comes the money, money, money.
Dollar, 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 dollar.
It was not long before the instability of such a massive loss sent shockwaves through the rest of China. One Christian Hakka man, Hong Xiuchen, decided to declare himself brother of Jesus and emperor of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom in 1850, establishing a capital at Nanking before taking the action that all good rebels take, dying when you're about to lose. His autopsy said, died from too much magic. You could not make this up if you tried. The weakness of this conflict encouraged the British and French to go to war once again with China in 1856, this time over a prison ship. The Qing were once again stomped, their summer palace in Johor looted and burned to the ground, and now forced to legalize opium, give more territory, ports, and money, and allow the foreigners more rights and respect, such as tolerating Christianity, according to another unequal treaty, the Treaty of Tianjin. You bet that China was just laughing itself to death after that. Well, really just death, but you get the point. The Qing, now under a corrupt Dowager Empress Cixi, saw 2 more humiliations, in Korea to the Japanese, and in Beijing to an 8, though it really should be 7-nation army of the United Kingdom, France, Russia, the United States of America, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy, and Japan. Now China was really laughing, fighting itself to death, due to many Chinese people, Chinese, not Manchu, becoming very discontented and ready to revolt. Watch the next episode to see a Christian be responsible for the downfall of the Qing, how long the revolution and its ideals can last, and the last emperor of China.